Okay, guys and girls in YouTube land. Well, I've made a mess again. I had a bunch of these streetlights. Okay, got them all installed, and then I hooked up the power source to it, and I put the wrong wires to the streetlights, and blew them up. 7 of them. I have those 3 left because I didn't hook those up, and so I had to order some more, but did they have those? Nah. So I had these. And okay, learn from my mistakes, please. Please. So I got another bunch of lights. And on the first ones, I super glued these in. Don't do that. If you have to pull them off, it's a bear. So this is always my favorite glue, but I don't normally use it like for everything. From now on, other than plastic models, I'm going to use it. Tacky glue is great. It holds stuff together, but it's not so incredible that you can't get it up something up once it's glued. I mean, I'm gluing this in place, and I know for a fact that I can take this off if I need to get underneath of it for some reason, but I don't. So I'm using tacky glue with this little, chopstick and a skewer and some glue in there. And then I bought those pins a long time ago. I think it was at Hobby Lobby. But they're great for holding stuff to where it's level. Okay. So the main reason I'm doing this video is not to say that I'm a big screw up, because you already knew that. But it was what I learned on the second time around. So tacky glue underneath. And now, like, the sidewalks are all glued down, right? And I have these little holes. So move this over just a little bit here. There we go. So rather than sit here and try to get those wires to go down that hole is tough. So what I do, heat tubing. This is a really small one. Really small. I mean, just getting that on there like that is a chore, but it just happened to work out. But both of them will fit in there. And then you just slide that up. You know, you don't want the wires dangling from the end of it, but then you can just go like this. Well, that's not lined up right. Let's try this one. There we go. You just take that down. Then you pull that, get the wires down all the way. Then you can reach down, slide it out, grab it on the next one. Boom. Now, let's talk about electricity. All the street lights that are on Amazon anyway, or Temu or whatever, they're all 3-volt lights. I have learned that lesson. And so that's why you and I have been having to put this little booger on the end of each one of these lights, or somewhere to this light only. So these are 3 volts, those are 3 volts, they're all 3 volts. So what I did is I bought this little guy. I think it's like $10.89 on Amazon. So this is 12 volts coming in. It comes preset with this little slide switch that 3 volts goes out of every socket here. And there's 2 wire connections here. They give you the plugs for these. They give you the pins for these. That's all in this bag. See those ones for the middle? There's 6 of those. And then for the pins, There's a whole mess of pins in there too. And dude, I'm going to go crazy with lights. Matter of fact, I bought some more. They're all 3 amp, and I'm not going to have to use those stupid resistors. Save your life. I hate soldering, and I hate having to do that with every single light. And the rest of the layout, like all those lights that are on right now, right there, right over there, over here, those are all running on 12 volt. But all the street lights are going to run off of that circuit board, and they're all going to get a solid 3 volts. So live and learn, right? So learn from my mistakes. Another thing I did, I'm getting these ready. I wanted a better base than just that small. I mean, these things are small, dude. I mean, seriously. So I bought these. These are Eve model. Everything's Eve model today on this episode. These are actually made for like making little stands, piece for for models. You got a guy with a club in his hand or some gargoyle or whatever, right? So I just bought these. I painted them, and I sticky or tacky glued them down to that too. That's why they're sitting here. And then I'll tacky glue. This one should be dry enough for me to pick up. That's going to go right about there. So, and then, that's going to have its own story by itself here shortly. But I just wanted to show you guys, everyone makes mistakes. I am the master of it. And don't get all worried when you make a mistake. I find when I did that, I was devastated. But what I do is I work on other things. I weather cars. Today, before I got into this too much, kind of like cool my nerves, I repainted the green that was on here because it was all, and this thing's been busted up. But I fixed the sign down in the middle, and I put on some decals for the sides. So I like it all. That's just something, you can still see with me close up where this was all broken. This is not a plastic model. This is a casting, of plaster. But for it being back there, it's going to work out just fine. Just don't look too closely at it, right? And so then to end it all with all of the electrical problems, yesterday I was going to start the creek and get it poured, and I had a bunch of stuff on top, and I had this stuff below all pulled out, and I knocked the table brace that's over here out, and then my head hit the table and bumped it over, and everything came off. Thank goodness not everything got broken, but a bottle of cement glue was sitting on there. It went all over the floor. The house smelled like glue. And the bridge that I had, the reason that glue bottle wasn't screwed tight, because I just fixed this, and then this flew off the table, and now it's just a bunch of parts. So it's a fun hobby, and I just have a laugh a minute doing this great hobby. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Don't always do what I do. Wait till the following episode and see how I fixed my mistakes. That's probably the safest way. But I appreciate y'all. See you in the next video. Bye.